Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz trying to make it 4 straight wins against the Knicks, hoping to continue their success while the Knicks look to turn things around. Back with the lineup in a moment. So with the Utah Jazz hit by injury, Jeff Hornacek, as we mentioned, is out. John Crotty, the backup point guard, is out because of a sprained ankle. So rookie Jamie Watson, second-round pick out of South Carolina, in the starting lineup tonight. He's played only 5 minutes in 2 games this season. We talked earlier with Jerry Sloan and asked, what is the game plan for tonight?
I just hope we're able to execute against this team. I think if we execute and get great concentration, you're going to have super concentration to play against the Knicks because of their big front line. I think that's where it probably will affect us as much as anything. And in order to be able to stay out of foul trouble, that's been one of the problems we've had from day one, is being in foul trouble early.
Jerry has the excuses lined up, as you see the officials, Hugh Evans, Ronnie Nunn, and Ted Bernhardt. But he knows, as everybody does, that it's a different scene here, and there is really a home court advantage here in Utah. There's great support for this team.
Well, this is only the Jazz 4th home game. They're 0-3 on the road. They've won 2 of 3 here at home. Saturday night in Denver, the Jazz lost to the Nuggets 119-110, allowing 41 points in the 4th quarter. This after they had reeled off an 18-2 run in the 3rd. So we're just underway at the Delta Center. Illegal defense called right at the start against the Jazz. And as you mentioned earlier, John, Utah has gone through a pattern, particularly on the road. They play well for 3 quarters, even at some point appear to be taking control, but they stumble in the 4th quarter. Here is Ewing with an open shot.
Belton Spencer looked at John Starks to go over and help, and left Ewing wide open.
John Stockton comes off an unhappy performance against the Nuggets. Quick hand check call on Derek Hopper. Stockton in foul trouble on Saturday in Denver. Only 3 of 8, 7 points, only 10 assists. Played only 29 minutes, and he fouled out of the game. Stockton gets it down low. Broken up on a double team. Malone thought he was fouled. And that is a traveling violation on Starks.
Talk about limited playing time, Marv. The other day against San Antonio, Derek Harper only 25 minutes, 6 of the minutes in the first half. So he's already picked up a foul, and he's guarding perhaps one of the, well, in the top 3 certainly NBA guards. You would say the best.
Little hedge.
Little hedge, yeah. Stockton's right there, though, and he's going to be tough for Harper, who's already got a foul.
Illegal defense called for the first time against the Knicks. Had a little stream of consciousness conversation with yourself and then held back. Was that it? A minute gone by in this first quarter. This is Watson. Felton Spencer. Way off.
But he liked the move. He liked the move.
Starks guarded by Benoit. Ewing around Spencer, rechecked it, but it's a goaltend. Well, Jamie Watson came out for the block, and the basket counts.
Ewing with a nice move inside as he goes to the basket, succeeds with that goaltend.
So the Knicks with a 4-0 lead. Jamie Watson has not played the last 3 games. Only 5 minutes of play as Malone gets inside and is fouled, blocked by Ewing. Jamie Watson with only 5 minutes of playing time in his NBA career and in the starting lineup tonight because of the injury suffered by Jeff Hornacek.
It looked like Patrick Ewing was going to try and draw an offensive foul on Malone. He kind of got caught in the middle. He didn't really try and stop Malone by blocking the shot, but he did succeed in denying him the layup.
Karl Malone only 17 points the other night against the Nuggets, averaging 23 per game. 73% at the line. Karl Malone saying he feels the Utah Jazz must play more aggressively. That has not been the case. The Knicks 4. The Jazz 2. New York Knicks with a record of 3-1 wins over the Celtics, the Lakers, and the Magic. The loss the other night to San Antonio. The Knicks shooting only 38% from the field against the Spurs.
Which is why, Marv, we should see more patience on the offense by the Knicks here as they try and establish a positive pattern for themselves.
Harper for three. Rebound Ewing. Oakley passing on the jumper. Starks for three. And Spencer gets to it. Stockton picks it down for Watson. Broken up. Watson on the recovery. Jamie Watson, an excellent all-around athlete, can play the big guard or small forward. He's opening up here at big guard. Harper on a give and go, lost it. The Knicks and the Jazz tied at 4. For the Knicks, it's game 2 of the 4-game Western trip. They'll play again against the Lakers in Los Angeles Wednesday, at Golden State on Thursday. Spencer, Felton Spencer, in his 5th year out of Louisville, has obviously straightened out his shot after that first offering.
That was pretty impressive how he rescued that pass. It looked like it was going to fly out of his hands.
Charles Smith keeps it alive. Well, John Starks the other night in San Antonio could not get going early. And John missing on his first 2 attempts. Ewing drawing the double team. And last touch by Oakley.
Patrick has to grasp that basketball first and get complete control of it before he thinks pass. Looked like he was thinking pass before he really had control.
Malone now guarded by Ewing. Illegal defense for the 2nd time called against the Knicks.
The Knicks will not plan to double team Karl Malone upon receiving the ball. Pat Riley prefers his team to be able to handle their men one-on-one. However, should he put the ball on the floor, it's likely then that help will come.
David Benoit, a 75% free throw shooter, will shoot the technical. Utah with a 7-4 lead. So they have reeled off 7 unanswered points. Benoit, Malone, Spencer up front, Stockton and Watson in the backcourt. Oakley jumping out, and again on the switch, it's Ewing guarding Malone. Starks over to help. Shot clock at 4. Stockton has to force.
Terrific defense by Harper.
Malone with the steal. Rejected, but it will count as a goaltend on Ewing. Utah with 9 straight points, and they are up 9-4. 4 minutes in. Illegal defense against the Jazz for the 2nd time.
Charles Oakley not happy with John Starks' response to him setting the pick. There weren't words exchanged, but you could see it on Charles's face, and Charles now gets the opportunity to make the technical.
Oakley is 74% free throw shooter. Charles Smith arrived here at 5 minutes past 5. He and Herb Williams, vice presidents of the Players Association. Nice play by Stockton, knocking it away. So Herb and Charles, along with Walter Bond, representing the Utah Jazz in Chicago earlier today for a Players Association meeting. We checked on the subject matter. It was just a briefing. Oh, nice move by Ewing. Patrick Ewing going glass. There are no league officials on hand, just a briefing to bring the players up to date. And I'm told that Charles Smith, Herb Williams, and Walter Bond shared a cab from the airport, John, here in Salt Lake City, to the arena. The only question is, who paid?
Marv, usually the guy who makes the most money should pay. I have found in my experience traveling, it doesn't work that way.
Felton Spencer with the basket and a foul.
Unprepared for people hurting the Knicks early. Felton Spencer doing a nice job with his second hoop, getting inside.
Felton Spencer, first-round draft pick of the Minnesota Timberwolves back in 1990. He was the 6th player taken overall in the draft. Spent 3 years with Minnesota. This is second with Utah. The Knicks are down by 6. Oakley given the shot. Yes. Charles Oakley with his first field goal. Utah 12, the Knicks 8. Stockton with a bullet pass off the dribble. Karl Malone receiving from John Stockton.
You can't beat the chemistry of Stockton and Karl Malone.
Smith fouled by Malone. Malone going for the steal, looking for the strip. Made contact. And a substitution for the Knicks. Rick Anthony comes on.
Last hoop for Utah. Karl Malone getting the position down low over Charles Oakley. And when you move, when you're in front of John Stockton as a member of the Utah Jazz and you're around the basket, you're going to get that bullet pass.
Charles Smith began the season in sizzling fashion, shooting extremely well, but the last 2 games it has gone the other way. Only 12 for 32 from the field. This is after the hot start.
Charles is also 5 for 10 from the foul line in the games thus far. He's a 77% foul shooter coming in this season.
The Knicks are having a delightful time here at the line at the start. Jazz by 6 with just under 7 minutes remaining first quarter. Pick and roll executed beautifully between Stockton and Malone.
It is so beautiful to see the forward come up as if he's going to set a pick or get a pass and then go backdoor as Malone did, and Stockton was right with him. Again, their chemistry is something.
Ewing fouled by Spencer. John Stockton has already collected 4 assists. Timeout taken with 6:34 to go, first quarter.
Three-point range. The Jazz haven't gotten into it yet, although they'll be in double figures by the time the game's over as far as attempts at any rate. Our AT&T long-distance information, the Knicks last year against the Jazz in the 2 games, how about that? 4 for 30. They really shot him poorly last year. But the line moved in a bit, though, to that 22-foot all the way around distance. It should be a lot better this year.
Utah won both games against the Knicks last season, last November 20th in New York. Jazz beat the Knicks 86-72, the Knicks' lowest point total of the year. That snapped a 22-game regular season home win streak. And then last December here in Salt Lake City, Utah won 103-96. Hubert Davis coming in following the timeout. New backcourt for the Knicks. Here's Watson forcing the issue. Dangerous pass thrown by Charles Smith. Greg Anthony tried to save and is fortunate it was deflected out by Karl Malone.
Yes, it's a very difficult thing to throw the ball to a teammate who's got to compete with taller people for the basketball. That was a floater by Charles.
Hubert Davis having his shooting difficulties, feels he's been releasing too quickly. 3-second violation.
That was Patrick Ewing setting up down low. He didn't realize he was in the lane. So far, the Knicks are looking very lackluster in all aspects of the game.
And on the other hand, the Utah Jazz are playing more aggressively. That has been the appeal by Jerry Sloan, and as we mentioned, Karl Malone has made that point. Basket won't count. Foul before the shot attempt by Anthony.
John Stockton with a change of pace through the foul from Greg Anthony.
Stockton and Watson in the backcourt. Malone, Spencer, Benoit up front. And deflected out by the Knicks. So the Jazz with 16 on the 24. Well, on the right, John Crotty next to Jeff Hornacek. Jay Humphries also out. 3 members of the Utah backcourt sitting it out. Humphries making it back from off-season knee surgery on the injured list, will not be eligible until November 12th to make his return. Hornacek with a sprained left knee. Crotty sprained his ankle the other night in Denver. Oakley. And again, the Knicks not getting good shots. Here's Stockton, rejected, and a foul is called.
That's not expected for Humphries to be back really for another 2 weeks, Marv, from what we hear about his recovery. John Stockton always looking left and right. When he doesn't see the opportunity, he can take it himself, as he does. He has not been playing to his all-star usual style of play the last several games. In fact, John right now is only 3rd in the NBA assists, and when you look at the all-time assist leaders, John is on his way to #1 position. But right now he's only averaging 10 a game, which is 3rd in the NBA.
Coming into tonight, 476 assists behind Magic Johnson, the NBA's all-time leader, as you saw. John, I mentioned that Jay Humphries will not be back until November 12th. There was actually a trick fact for you, since today is the 14th of November. I meant to say December 12th. Another Knick turnover.
Very good, Marv.
Yes. Fell for it again.
Not as good as how this guy dressed.
Very sharp.
We're talking model here.
5 minutes remaining in this first quarter, and it's Utah 17, the Knicks 9. David Benoit blocked by Smith.
There was a definite emphasis of Utah to put the ball on the floor and drive it to the basket. Not only the guards, but also the forwards like Benoit and Karl Malone. They can do it, and they're drawing the fouls.
David Benoit last season bothered by pulled hamstring, missed 22 games. This guy a terrific athlete, but his play has been erratic. Major disappointment a year ago. Anthony Mason for Charles Smith. Anthony Mason not able to get going, and he was not alone in the game against the San Antonio Spurs. 22 minutes Saturday night, 0 for 5 from the field. And the Knicks are down 19-9. Anthony with the step. Yes, and it counts. Apparently the indication, the whistle, was that the basket would have counted because the ball was interfered with. No foul call. So Greg Anthony with the good drive, and the Knicks are down by 8. Illegal defense for the 3rd time against the Knicks. Another technical foul awarded. Utah, and David Benoit to the line.
Benoit's been getting 28 minutes a game in the first 6 games. He's only been in double figures twice. And yet, as you mentioned, Marv, he has super skills. He can be very electric and is terrific on the break also with his athleticism.
Utah by 9. 4:20 remaining in this opening quarter. This is Watson handling against Anthony. Watson trying to use the height advantage, and does. Ewing came over, but it was too late. Jimmy Watson goes 6'7". That's a good 4 or 5 inches on Greg Anthony.
He is doing a terrific job.
Oakley going to the hook.
Nice move by Charles. No hesitation on that.
The Jazz 22 and the Knicks 13. Malone. And back comes Davis. Utah getting back, not allowing the Knicks to get anything going in terms of running basketball. 3-second violation on Oakley.
To have 2 3-second violations in the first quarter by your co-captains, Oakley and Ewing, is just not the way to go if you want to get out of this mental slump that the Knicks have been in.
Crowd reacting as John Stockton replaced Jamie Watson. The hand for Watson. So Stockton and Walter Bond now in the backcourt. This is Bond with it. We come up on 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Illegal defense once again. That's number 4. The Jazz hit with 2. Another technical foul awarded. And we will see Monty Williams check in here late in the first quarter. The rookie from Notre Dame has had a couple of brief stints. Pat Riley trying to get something going. Signs of a turn from what we saw Saturday night in San Antonio.
You would think the Knicks' instincts, Marv, would be going to Ewing down low, dealing with Felton Spencer after Shaquille O'Neal and David Robinson the last 2 games. Greg Anthony caught on a hand check now as well. That Ewing would be able to get loose and really dominate Felton Spencer.
And the Jazz taking advantage, going to the line for a couple more now. John Stockton, the beneficiary of that hand-checking call on Greg Anthony.
One of the disturbing things about the Knicks not drawing fouls and going to the line themselves is the numbers right now. In 4 games, their opponents have made 27 more foul shots.
Utah 24 and the Knicks 13. Just under 3 minutes remaining first quarter. They double up on Ewing, got it back nicely, but Davis could not hit the layup. Offensive foul on Stockton. Timeout is taken. 2:41 remaining in this opening quarter.
Come on the court, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our own
City Jazz 24, Knicks 13 on a beautiful day in this area. Look at the state capitol building. Snow showers hitting yesterday. There is still snow on the ground. Temperature in the 20s and 30s today. John, yesterday nearly 8 inches of snow dropping on Salt Lake International Airport. Traveling violation is called. That's a record snowfall for the 13th of November for Salt Lake City, eclipsing the previous record set back in 1951 when you were a tot.
Right you are. Didn't keep me indoors though, Marv.
Ewing with the rejection on Stockton.
John Stockton flying to the basket. Patrick Ewing right there. Patrick 4th in the NBA now in shot blocks. Adds another one.
And the call against the Jazz. A technical foul is called on Stockton. I think John Stockton's still upset about that charging foul. Earlier in the call, he is angry. That's about as upset that you will see. John Stockton is trying to keep it within.
Never seen that from John.
Ooh.
He's continuing it right on the bench.
Hubert Davis hitting the technical foul.
Jamie Watson has checked back into the Jazz lineup for John Stockton.
And Jamie Watson has checked in. You know what is on Jerry Sloan's mind? He does not want to lose John Stockton on a second technical foul with that depleted backcourt. With Hornacek, Humphries, Crotty all out. Anthony for 3. And Spencer rebound. Utah with a 10-point lead. This is Bond trying to go baseline, and it's blocked by Davis. So once again, Utah to the line.
Marv, I want to mention one of the problems that the Knicks have had with the illegal defense here in the first quarter. I was just asking Hugh Evans, the official, about that. And he said what the Knicks have been caught on is not guarding their men when the man on offense on Utah is above the tip of the circle, which is right behind the foul shooter there. Not the three-point line, but above the tip of the circle. The man guarding him has to be above the foul line. And he said the Knicks are cheating, going back, putting back and forth, below the foul line, above the foul line, below. They have to be above the foul line, guarding their man when that man is above that white circle. And the foul line extended as well. You take that foul line right to the sidelines as well, that invisible line, and that's what the Knicks have been caught on the illegal defense calls.
2 minutes remaining.
John Starks checking back in, replacing Hubert Davis. Starks, yes. So John Starks off the bench to hit after he missed his first couple. Utah leading 26-16. So the point guard is actually Walter Bond at this point. The 6'5", 200 pounds, for the Dallas Mavericks. Malone with a strong move. Karl Malone extends to a 12-point Jazz lead. Malone has 10 points. He's the high man. Monty Williams posting up.
Nice move by Williams.
Watson got the screen, found Bond. Anthony met by Bond. Just under 1 minute to go in this first quarter. And Hugh Evans with the call, illegal defense against the Jazz. That's their third violation.
It's a technical free throw. Anthony will shoot the team.
So Greg Anthony will shoot the technical. We have had a total of 7 illegal defenses called in this first quarter.
Well, the players on defense aren't concentrating on the new rule, and that's pretty clear.
Head coach Gary Sloan in his 7th year as head man of the Jazz. Winningest coach in Utah Jazz history. Ewing with the drop step move. And a loose ball foul on Monty Williams.
It's a good foul, Omar. Monty Williams at 6'8", showing the guts and ability to get in and an offensive rebound, which is what the Knicks need now. With Charles Oakley out of the lineup, they need that kind of pressure, particularly with Ewing taking the jump shots. They need someone in there following up.
So the Jazz, it'll be free throws 15 and 16 of this first quarter. They've connected on 12 out of 14.
Whenever you see a Knicks opponent approach 30 points for a quarter, you know that this Knicks team is not doing their normal good defensive job.
A very quiet crowd here in the first quarter, which is understandable because of the many stoppages in play. 7 illegal defensive calls, host of whistles, many fouls called on the Knicks.
The thing about it here is when it gets quiet, I mean, it is dead quiet.
40 seconds remaining in the quarter, and the Jazz leading 29-17. And that is a traveling violation. Monty Williams called for steps.
I thought Belton Spencer got away with extra physical play on Ewing, who was trying to receive that pass. He really shoved him out.
The Knicks with their ninth turnover. 15 seconds in the quarter, 10 on the shot clock. Anthony on the steal, leading Mason. Well, a most unusual occurrence, a fast break bucket by the Knicks. Final seconds of the quarter. Bond looking for the shot. After one here in Salt Lake City, Utah Jazz 29 and the New York Knicks 19.
Can you guess which minivan combines standard dual airbags, four-wheel anti-lock brakes, a front-end crush zone, and 5-mile-per-hour bumpers with a powerful V6, the lowest step-in height, the most room in its class, and the smoothest, most car-like ride? Did you guess? The Ford Windstar.
Test drive a new Windstar at your Ford dealer. It will change the way you look at minivans.
Safety, comfort, roominess. I guess people are buying the Windstar because it's such a great value. See your Ford dealer and see for yourself.
Mr. Thompson! Hey, heard about the big savings I can get you over AT&T on your business long-distance bill? Big savings? Oh, sure.
Let's just check that out by calling this number here, 1-800-COMPARE.
Can I see that hacksaw?
Right after I call 1-800-COMPARE.
Wow, are those left-handed tin snips?
Can't believe the big savings claims? For the facts, call 1-800-COMPARE, and AT&T will guarantee you competitive long-distance prices.
I can fix that for you.
1-800-COMPARE, the number other long-distance companies don't want you to call. AT&T, for the life of your business.
Now
The Jazz have gotten out of their slump, if you judge this game so far, by 1 quarter, with a solid first quarter for them. Walt Frazier here, as usual, along with Mike Breen, broadcasting the game on WFAN radio. And there's the back of Jerry Sloan. Jerry Sloan and Walt Frazier, two of the NBA illustrious defenders. And when you go back to the 1968-69 season, that was the first year that the NBA announced an all-defensive team. And look who's prominently mentioned there. Walt Frazier and Jerry Sloan, along with some other fellows basketball fans might remember.
Clyde dressing well for radio this evening. You notice that, John?
Clyde never knows when he's going to make an appearance on the tube, Marv, and he treats it accordingly.
Second quarter underway, and the Jazz with a 29-19 lead. Substitution, Brian Russell, 6'7", 225-pounder, has come on for the first time. That shot taken by Antoine Carr, who also just checked in. Patrick Ewing is fouled. The Knicks opening up this second quarter with Hopper and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Mason, and Monty Williams on the front line. And Felton Spencer called for that foul. Jerry Sloan doing lots of shuffling here, what with the injuries that have hit his club. John Stockton apparently has calmed down after getting hit with a technical, about to make his return. And he replaces Jamie Watson. So it will be Stockton and Bond in the backcourt. Spencer up front along with Russell and Carr. Antoine Carr now a member of the Utah Jazz after spending the last 3 years with San Antonio. 8-point Jazz lead. They've led by as many as 12. Russell, good recovery by Russell, lost his balance off the defensive work by Monty Williams, but was able to slap it off Williams. Herb Williams now comes on, replacing Patrick Ewing. 9 points for Ewing. And Felton Spencer had to go through the legs.
Well, that was the fault of the NBA's best passer, John Stockton. That's a rare sight to see him throw a ball through a big man's legs there, poorly delivered. Let's jump all over him for that one.
Yes, kill him. Starks for 3. Well, John Starks hit his last 2 shots, and the Knicks are down by 5. Tom Chambers getting set to check in for the first time. Bond played by Starks. Here's Carr throwing a double team. Antoine Carr. Monty Williams gets it back out. There's Monty Williams. It counts, and the foul. Nice speed by Anthony Mason.
Young players crave playing time. Monty Williams getting the playing time now. Missed a couple of shots. Pat Riley staying with him. Gets off a very difficult shot inside. The first, excuse me, Marvin, the first 4 games, Monty's only played a total of 5 minutes.
And for Monty, that is his first NBA field goal. 3-point play for Monty Williams. And the Knicks are within 2. Tom Chambers. Walter Bond. John Starks try to draw the foul. Bond has been way off. Knocked away by Russell. Last touch by the Knicks. Good play on a reach-in by Brian Russell. 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Marv Albert with John Andres from the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. Chambers looking for the shot. Here's Carr. Power move by the 6'9", 255-pound Antoine Carr. And that stops an 8-0 run by the Knicks.
Carr doesn't hesitate to take his body and his man inside. He's not going to stay out and shoot flat-footed jump shots.
Knicks down by 4. Stockton checking out the floor. Had a notion to fire it down. Stockton with a nice change of pace, but then gave it back. Here's Bond. Oh, Bond hits the deck hard. Walter Bond fouled. And a 20-second timeout is taken by Utah. Walter appears to be all right.
Bond with the great jumping ability extends high to the basket and comes down like a thud.
The Knicks first, second quarter team.
Foul on Herb Williams. Walter Bond in his 3rd year from the University of Minnesota. Spent a year with the Mavericks after a season with Wichita Falls in the CBA. Here's another look at. Whoa. This is 2nd year with Utah. Walter Bond. Fouled by Herb Williams, and he will go to the line.
Marv, I was looking at his career, and I thought a most interesting number pops up when you look at Bond. At Minnesota, he played in 103 games in college, averaged 7 points a game. How did he get to the NBA? That's
and you look back at your collegiate career and you say, what the heck is going on here?
I mean, here's a guy, and he comes in his first year in the league, 92-93 with Dallas. He averages 8.
You know what it is, John? Connections.
I mean,
he knew the right people.
He may be a unique player in the history of the NBA to average more in his first year than he did in college. He didn't even average it in double figures in college, and he's in the NBA.
But you know, he has an NBA body.
He sure does.
He has the physique, and you see more and more of that. Mason with a nice move. So Utah up by 3. And after watching Walter pump up here in the first quarter and second quarter, you can understand why he averaged only 7 a game in college. Antoine Carr. A strong move by Carr.
He doesn't feel a body on him. He doesn't feel physical presence. Every time he's gotten the ball, he's pushing it inside. Someone's got to lean on him.
Back to the subject of Bondo. He had some big scoring games with Dallas, but it's tough to make a judgment on that because they were involved in so many blowouts. And that is a leg block. The Knicks get a new 24. Monty Williams getting the playing time here in the second quarter. He's up front with Anthony Mason and Herb Williams. Derek Crawford and John Starks in the backcourt.
The matchup also with Russell and Monty Williams favors Monty Williams, so Pat Riley doesn't have to be concerned about him getting overwhelmed.
Herb Williams is fouled. Carr with the rejection. But the foul is called on Bond.
Bond is first, number 3 for the Jazz.
Nice move by Herb Williams, now receiving that ball, spinning his way inside, drawing the foul despite Antoine Carr's presence. This is a very shaky front line now with Karl Malone out of the lineup.
And it's been a long rest for Karl Malone.
The feeling is, Marv, that Tom Chambers has had a terrific career, but is now in his 14th year, has stayed 1 year too long.
Also, Chambers struggling with the strained lower back. He had that injury right throughout preseason. Utah by 3. 4 minutes in. Second quarter. Basket won't count. The whistle before the shot by Carr. And the foul from behind charged to Herb Williams. The other night in San Antonio, the Knicks figured out they took 68 jump shots out of the 93 total shots. That's an incredible number. Here's Carr getting inside, and he's fouled. Starks over to help and picks it up. Tonight, to this point, although the Knicks have taken their share of jump shots, they have certainly made an effort to get the ball down low.
Look at the ball got through all that traffic to Antoine Carr. That should not happen. The Knicks have to be more active with their hands competing for that basketball.
Antoine Carr in his 11th season. A valuable pickup for the Jazz. 3 years with San Antonio after 5.5 with Atlanta. Spent a 1.5 years with Sacramento. He was the emotional leader of the Spurs, set back by an ankle problem last season. Signed with Utah as a free agent. And kicked out of bounds by Bond. Here comes Charles Oakley.
Your substitution, Charles Oakley is in for Williams.
Replacing Monty Williams, who leads with 3 points. Knicks get the new 24 off that kick ball.
What has really hurt the Knicks so far in the first half, Marv, is the turnovers. They're in double figures now. They're not taking bad shots like they were the other night, but those 10 turnovers have set them back here in the early going.
Mason drawing the double team.
That's a poor shot by Anthony. He felt he earned it. He had an exchange with his teammates, but there was a little too much strain in getting that shot up.
A little over-anxious move by Brian Russell, and he's called for steps. Brian Russell, a second-round draft pick last year out of Long Beach State. Utah 35 and the Knicks 31. Here's Hopper. Nice move by Derek Hopper. And that's his first field goal.
That's gorgeous.
So the Knicks within 2. They trail by as many as 12 off the steal. Herb Williams punched it away. And John Starks has tied the game at 35. And Jerry Sloan would like to talk it over, indicating a timeout. 6:36 remaining in this first half. The Knicks and the Jazz are tied at...
I don't get it. Some guy bets $228 and makes $3 million bucks.
Can you imagine what Willie Mays would be worth today?
Yeah.
No holiday sweepstakes.
Another Heineken, right?
Yeah, please.
No blimp with our name on it. No racing team.
Hey, Mays.
None of that is what made Heineken the #1 imported beer in America.
Where's all that money come from?
Ticket prices.
Yeah, I guess.
And all those beer commercials.
We're in show business. We're having fun. We're ringmasters of one of the greatest circuses of all time. Wow, that's great. California has a very special meaning around the world. It's about freedom. It's about choices. How about a pizza with potato on it? Peking duck. Thai chicken. We have watched where businesses have limited ways in which the customer pays. And when our customer reaches for an American Express card, we gladly accept it.
American Express is welcome to wherever fresh ideas are cooking. So dine out, America.
Chrysler Concorde's dramatic styling, engineered quality, and cab-forward design have so impressed car buyers that after its first year, Concorde has retained more of its value than any car in its class. Knowing that, Concorde owners may want to take steps to protect their investment. Chrysler Concorde, a valuable expression of form following function.
Now it's time for the MCS Cannon Great Teamwork Moment. It's Taking a little while for the Knicks to get going. John Stockton with a soft pass deflected into the hands of Derek Harper. Perfect lead pass for John Starks. That'll get a team loose. Canon Technology and MCS Service. One is a great reason to buy the other.
Karl Malone is back on the floor. Knicks have outscored the Jazz 16-6 here in the second quarter. And Antoine Carr providing some problems. Able to get inside, and the Jazz up by 2.
Well, Herb Williams ought to use a foul or two just to let Antoine know that it shouldn't be that easy.
Quick 7 points for Carr. They triple team Mason, and Malone able to bat it away. Knicks want to talk it over. Pat Riley with a quick 20-second timeout. Well, this road trip will continue Wednesday night at the Forum in Los Angeles. It'll be the Knicks and the Lakers. Knicks game night at 10. That's New York time. Game time at 10:30. That'll be following MSG's coverage of Virginia Slims tennis. Knicks beat the Lakers in New York last Tuesday. Lakers with that new look, exciting backcourt. The rookie Eddie Jones and second-year player Nick Van Exel. Then Thursday night, it's the Knicks at Golden State. The Knicks back home at the Garden Saturday. They face the Atlanta Hawks. Harper comes up short on that three-point attempt. Utah with the ball, up by 2 with just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half.
Herb Williams trying to push Antoine Carr out so he doesn't receive the ball in so close.
Malone. Stockton.
Well, he lost his defensive man on a pick, and he had a real clear look at the basket.
John Stockton only his first field goal. Utah 39 and the Knicks 35. Here's Oakley. Patrick Ewing getting set to return. Utah has led by as many as 12. The Knicks able to come back to tie the game. But the Jazz up by 4. Watson's pass broken up. Chambers on the recovery. Malone rejected by Williams with 1 on the shot clock, and a foul is called on Herb Williams.
Good play, though, by Herb Williams. He arrived quickly. You'll see how fast Herb Williams comes into the picture now. Looks like Malone has a shot, no problem, but Herb sends it back.
And that's the 3rd foul committed by Herb Williams. So Karl Malone to the line. He's 3 of 4 at the free throw line. Last year, Karl averaged 25 points per game. That was 5th in the NBA, named to the All-NBA first team for the 6th straight year. The numbers have been a bit low thus far over the first 6 games. He's averaging 23 per game.
Also an area where he's been uncharacteristically soft, Marv, is in the offensive rebounding department. He's averaging under 2 a game. And as he tries to get out on the break in front of John Stockton, he's not getting it done on the boards there.
Missed the 2 free throws. And all this after an extraordinary preseason. Remember, he'd come into the Garden before the 2 games with the Knicks. He was shooting about 70% from the field. Not that you can get any feel from preseason. John Starks hammers the 3 to bring the Knicks within 1. 10 points for Starks. 4.5 remaining in this first half. And a pushing foul charged to Starks.
He was caught in a mismatch with Karl Malone, who started to go underneath, and the reflex really is to grab Malone and push him when you look at their size, relative size differential.
So Jamie Watson to the line. Jamie Watson with his first NBA free throws. 2nd round draft pick out of South Carolina. He averaged 18 points as a senior in the starting lineup tonight for the first time because of the injury suffered by Jeff Hornacek. Utah by 2. Starks drawing Carr on a switch. Here's Harper. Yes. And he has tied the game at 40.
Stockton didn't have the hands up.
approaching 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Now Anthony Mason guarding Karl Malone. Mason bottled him up, but is called for the foul.
That call was made by Hugh Evans across court, and Mason took exception. He's right on Malone. Watch this now. Any defensive player would argue that one. He looked like he was all over that basketball.
First foul on Mason. Malone is 3 of 6 at the line. Utah leads by 1. Utah Jazz last season won 53 games, 53-29, third in the Midwest. In the playoffs, knocked off San Antonio 3-1, and then they squeaked by Denver in 7 after leading 3-0. In the Western Conference Finals, beaten by Houston in 5. And it's kicked out. Knicks get the new 24. We talked about this during preseason, John. Had Utah lost to Denver in that 7th and final game, we might be looking at an overhauled roster. Jerry Sloan's situation at the time was very tenuous, and perhaps the Malone-Stockton era would have been broken up had they lost, but they were able to win and went on to the Western Conference Finals and then were beaten by Houston. Chambers extends to a 4-point Utah lead.
In transition, the Knicks were too slow to get to Chambers. At the other end now, we've got Antoine Carr guarding Ewing. That should favor this man.
Ewing foul before the shot, so the basket won't count. Carr called for his first. Well, Charles Smith, after a long rest, will come on for Anthony Mason. Hopper and Starks in the backcourt. It's back to their starting lineup. Starks for 3. Yes. John Starks with another 3-pointer. He has 13 points for the game. Watson is shaken up. Jamie Watson shaken up. And the Utah trainer, Mike Shemensky, out to take a look.
Watson fighting over the pick. Gets caught with one of the Knicks players and hits the floor. Looked like he hit his wrist or twisted his wrist.
The Jumbotron Affair will be delivering a Pizza Hut pizza to a lucky fan somewhere at the arena. Every person in this lucky fan's roll will.
Okay, the shot's set, everyone's smiling, and then no flash. Next time, use Energizer batteries that nobody beats the Wiz. They just keep on going.
Nobody beats Long Island Diamond prices. My dad got my mom's ring here.
Long Island Diamond saves you a lot of money.
We got the diamond we wanted at the price we wanted.
Long Island Diamond has a world-class selection of all sizes, shapes, and price ranges.
Fuel cards. Join the Fuel Consumers Group today and save.
Fuel Consumers Group saved my parents, my 3 sisters money, so I figured it made sense to join.
In the dead of winter at 6 o'clock in the morning, I need service. In an hour and a half, they're there.
We have savings of hundreds of dollars a year. It's worry-free.
The service is excellent. Fuel Consumers Group. For more information, call 798-WARM.
You can get wood anywhere, you know, but service is what makes the difference. I know some of the fellas here for a long time, and they jump right on your order. You don't waste a lot of time in the yard. You get in and out. You want to get a job done. You need your stuff. Here, well, like I said, service is the difference. You come here, they're always willing to help you. They're right there on the spot. They know their products. You need a piece of wood ripped to get out of here. They do it right away. It's nice.
No one covers Long Island like Nassau Suffolk Lumber.
Nice pass inside from Stockton for Malone, who was pushed. Oakley debating the call with Hugh Evans.
That's about number 34, Charles Oakley is first.
So that's the first called on Charles Oakley, and Karl Malone spending much time at the line. He's 5 out of 8 at the line. 2:48 remaining in the first half, and the Jazz leading the Knicks by 1.
The size of Karl Malone makes him so difficult to deal with below the foul line. When he charges with his speed also to position, it's very difficult for even Charles Oakley or Patrick Ewing to deny him the position. And the width of his body makes him a good receptacle, so to speak, for that basketball to come his way, and it is.
Antoine Carr tied up and lost it after Malone missed 2 more. Hopper for Starks for 3. Yes. John Starks with his 4th from downtown. He's 4 out of 6 from 3-point range, and the Knicks have taken a 2-point lead. First time they've led since the opening minutes. David Benoit, Felton Spencer getting set to come on. Foul again on Oakley. That is his 2nd. The Knicks are over the limit. Well, with Jamie Watson going down, and we have not received a report on the severity of his injury. Yet another blow to the Utah Jazz, who came into tonight with Jeff Hornacek sidelined with a sprained left knee. This after a 35-point game against Denver. Jay Humphries has been out, making it back from off-season knee surgery. John Crotty, usually the backup point guard to John Stockton, sprained his ankle in the game Saturday night in Denver. He is out. John in cities. There's John. John Crotty, that is. And now Jamie Watson goes down. He was in the starting lineup for the first time in his young NBA career. So Walter Bond is at the shooting guard. John Stockton is the point guard. The Knick lead is 1. They've come from 12 back. Hopper for 3. Ewing on the back tap. Knocks it out of bounds.
The thing about Hornacek's injury, Marv, is it happened at the end of the first half. He went up for a shot in Mutombo, and he made the shot. A 22-point first half. Mutombo on the attempt to block him drove him down, and he twisted his ankle, his knee rather, as he fell. Then finished the game with 35, however, so he was still able to continue.
Felton Spencer, although fouled by Charles Smith, was able to put it down, and he'll go to the line.
Well, Spencer getting the long lead pass from John Stockton, which again shows you how porous the Knicks defense has been inside the foul line.
8 points for Spencer. Utah 48, the Knicks 46. Smith stripped. Smith on the recovery, yes, and it counts. And Smith will go to the line. He is fouled by Spencer. For Spencer, his 3rd.
Charles had 4 people converge on him as he went to the basket. Got stripped, but he hung in there. Got the good bounce and converted.
Mason is back in for the Knicks. Tom Chambers returns for Felton Spencer.
And with Felton Spencer picking up his 3rd, he is replaced by Tom Chambers. Anthony Mason replacing Charles Oakley. First points for Charles Smith. Now trying to add the free throw. Game is tied at 48.
It's unbelievable how such a fine shooter as Charles Smith is from jump shooting range. Certainly he cannot get that foul shooting down.
The Knicks are now 8 for 13 at the line. Minute and a half remaining. First half. Shot clock at 5. Malone to the off-balance shot.
Oh, tricky.
Utah 50. And the Knicks 48. Karl Malone is the high man for the Jazz. Starks has had the hot hand here in the second quarter. Good save by Bond. Finding Chambers, and he is wrapped by Smith. Took the shot in the right cheek and did not appreciate it.
Well, Malone ignited it with that long pass. Bond, good reflex over to Chambers. And Charles Smith racked Chambers as he went up for that layup attempt.
Tom Chambers in his 2nd season with Utah following 5 years with Phoenix. And Utah now suffering at the line. 20 of 33 at the line, and they have really had their problems here in the second quarter. They've hit only 6 of 14 at the foul line in the second.
But they've been there 33 times to the Knicks 13.
The Jazz with a 3-point lead. Final minute of the half. Gilbert Davis back on the floor. Starks for 3. John Starks putting on a 3-point exhibition. 5 of 8 from downtown. And he's hit his last 4. Game tied at 51. Here's Chambers. Rebound Malone. Karl Malone. 17 for Malone. And Utah leads 53-51 with 25 seconds to go in the half.
Chambers on Ewing. Ewing signaling to his teammates some kind of message.
Derek Harper with his 3rd bucket. 6 points for Harper. Game tied at 53. Final seconds. First half. Stockton setting it against Harper. Stockton with the move to set up Malone for 3. Well, the Knicks have to feel pleased about the effort in the second quarter. Had only 19 points in the first. They were trailing by as many as 12. Good turnaround in the second, and at the half, they're tied with the Jazz at 53. Bob Page coming up at the MSG Sports Desk. We'll be back right after these words.
There are a lot of men's stores in New York where you can buy expensive clothes expensively. But in all New York, there's just one least expensive way to buy expensive men's clothes. Rothman's.
And next week is my 5th wedding anniversary. It's unbelievable how time flies.
Did you get her a present yet?
Yeah, I'm getting her a really nice washer and dryer.
Oh, come on. She'll never forgive you. You got to get her something for her.
It is for her.
Quarter sparked by the hot shooting of John Starks, who hit 5 from 3-point range. 19 points in all for Starks. And the game is tied at 53. Now let's go to Bob Page.
Thank you, Marv. Good evening again, everybody. The grand week-long finale to the Women's Tennis Tour got underway here at the Garden tonight, and there was already a huge upset. In the match seen live over our MSG2 service, unheralded Julie Allard of France dumped second-seeded Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. The 24-year-old Allard, ranked just 22nd in the world, won the first set, lost the second, and forced a tiebreaker following the third. A great effort here in the breaker by Allard, who won the final 6 points of it to snap a 21-match win streak that Arantxa had. Allard had been 1-6 lifetime versus Sanchez coming in. She will now face the winner of tomorrow night's highlight match between the retiring Martina Navratilova and Gabriela Sabatini. We'll have tomorrow's card live here on MSG. Also tonight in the other singles match played, Kimiko Date of Japan, the 8th seed, wrapped up Sabine Hack in straight sets. In the NFL Monday Night Football game, they've just about gone to the 2-minute warning, just have, in fact, in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers are dominating the Buffalo Bills 13-0. If you missed it from earlier today, the floundering Oilers fired both head coach Jack Pardee and offensive coordinator Kevin Gilbride. Defensive coordinator Jeff Fisher given a 3-year contract to take over as head coach. At 1-9, the Oilers are still a slight favorite to beat the Giants at Houston 1 week from tonight. Somebody suggested to Dan Reeves at his media briefing today the Giants might not have much to play for after yesterday's awful loss to the Cardinals.
Well, in their own profession, if they don't have enough pride to prepare for the game, and that's not something that has happened, I can't imagine that. And we got to continue to work to prepare ourselves and have enough pride in our jobs and what we do to go out and play hard and prepare hard. And I don't see that changing.
I'll have more coming up from our Sports Desk studios here at the Garden right after we pause for these messages.
Sports Desk is brought to you by Alamo.
1-800-2-TEST-EAGLE. The Knicks, led by John Starks, 17 of his 19 points in the second quarter. So Starks overall 7 of 11 from the field. Did it from downtown, hitting 5 of 8 from three-point range. The only Knick in double figures. Patrick Ewing 3 out of 5 in his 18 minutes for 9 points. Utah Jazz led by Karl Malone. He played 19 minutes in the first half. 6 out of 9 from the field, 5 of 10 from the line for 17 points. 8 for Spencer, 7 for Carr. Antoine Carr did a nice job. And John, both clubs on fire in this first half. The Knicks at 57% and the Jazz at 53%. All the pregame talk concerned the Knicks taking too many jump shots in the game against the Spurs on Saturday night. When you're shooting 57%, I guess you don't complain much, but we don't have the numbers here. But I would think the Knicks have taken more than their share of jump shots tonight, but they're hitting them.
Well, the jump shots also tonight, Marv, have not come after one pass. They've come after 3-4 passes to open men. In this case, John Starks, and he's come through. So there has been some patience associated with the jump shots, and that's okay.
Okay. Very definitive. A look at our halftime highlights brought to you by Minolta's 135 EX. Minolta, the official camera of the Garden.
Well, for the Knicks, it was the dramatic shooting of John Starks as John Stockton with that soft pass deflected by Herb Williams results in Derek Harper with that hook pass to John Starks. That really loosened things up for the Knicks. And Derek Harper finding John Starks as he penetrates John beyond the three-point range. That was one of John's 5 3-point shots in the first half. For the Utah Jazz, John Stockton, Karl Malone. Nobody helping out Ewing, who was thinking about helping out on Stockton. Malone got a layup on a beautifully deceptive move executed. And John Stockton again at the helm finds the big man, Felton Spencer, all alone under the basket. Too many passes went by Utah to their big men underneath, uncontested.
Stockton had 7 assists in the first half. We'll be back in Salt Lake in a moment.
The Knicks are back, and so is Mike Francesa, along with Kathleen Murphy and some of the biggest stars in sports and showbiz on Live from the Play-by-Play right here on NSG. Protect yourself against skyrocketing fuel costs. Join the Fuel Consumers Group today and save.
I save 20 to 25 cents a gallon on 1,100 gallons a year. That's quite a saving.
One night at midnight, my burner started making funny noises. Within an hour, I had a serviceman at the door.
It's about time the consumer got a break. It helps us save money.
And I know that my family is safe. Fuel Consumers Group. For more information, call 798-WARM.
Signed up for MSG or Sports Channel on or after March 15th and you cancel your service, you may get your installation fee back. Or drop MSG and Sports Channel and add them back before the end of the year at no charge. Or check out what else is on Sports Channel and MSG.
During the 21st century, Utah, get into the game. Get into the game. 21st century fun for the whole family. Voice Road, Carl.
Is brought to you in part by the United States Postal Service. We deliver smart solutions for you. And by Mobile, helping you move faster with mobile pay at the pump.
Third quarter underway, and a foul is called on Charles Oakley. A holding foul for Charles. That is his third. Capacity crowd here at the Delta Center, 19,911. On the public address, trying to rev the crowd up. Very quiet first half. Game is tied at 53. The Jazz led by as many as 12 in the first half. Nice move. Jamie Watson, the rookie from South Carolina, giving the Jazz a 2-point lead.
No help either as he went baseline right to the basket. Once again, Charles Oakley with a very quiet first half. 1 rebound for Charles. Charles Smith 2 rebounds. So they combined for a total of 3 and a total of 6 points in the first half. Knicks very fortunate to be where they are. They're where they are because of John Starks.
11th turnover committed by the Knicks. Oh, nicely done. Stockton for Watson. And a 20-second timeout called by Pat Riley. The Jazz taking a 4-point lead. Both clubs shot well in the first half. The Knicks were 20 of 35, 57%, led by Starks, 7 of 11, 5 from downtown, and Utah 53% shooting. The Knicks overall 5 of 12 from the three-point line. Starks 5 of 7. The rest of the Knicks 0 for 5 from downtown. And both clubs struggling at the foul line. Utah 21 of 33, 8 of 17 at the line in the second quarter.
The Toyota matchup figuring to be heavy in the direction of Karl Malone was just that way. 17-4 in the scoring department, and the rebound 6-1 favoring the mailman.
Starks for Harper. That's a three-point attempt, and Smith rebounds. Remember the game Saturday in San Antonio. Oakley did not have any rebounds in the first half, then had all 10 of his rebounds in the second half, but the game was out of sight. Ewing, and rebounded by Spencer. Here comes Stockton. Stockton and Watson in the backcourt. Malone with Benoit. Spencer up front. Good play by Smith. And it was last touched by Felton Spencer.
Yes, good help by Charles Smith, helping out Patrick Ewing.
Utah with a 4-point lead. First of 2 meetings this season between the Knicks and the Jazz. Utah's won the last 3 over the Knicks. They swept them last year. Here is Smith. And Spencer with the rebound. Stockton for Benoit. That's his first shot attempt. David Benoit extending to a 6-point lead.
Benoit's speed resulted in him getting a mismatch with John Starks having to pick him up. The Knicks were too slow getting to him.
Good position for Charles Smith. That is only his second field goal. 59-55 Utah. Knicks were down at the quarter, 29-19. Came back strong in the second quarter to tie the game at the half. Benoit squaring up and took a light hit from Smith. And for Charles, that is number 4.
Marv, I would call that one a ticky-tacky foul. I mean, that's very frustrating. It just had no significance to the play at all. Charles Smith coming around now. I mean, it's a real hard one to see.
Anthony Mason replacing Charles Smith. Pretty pass from Malone. And Jamie Watson has hurt the Knicks here in the opening minutes of the third quarter. That was Watson again.
There's a guy who had played 5 minutes for the Jazz in 6 games, and he's hurting the Knicks, period. He's a player.
Reach and foul called on Watson. Jamie Watson has 11 points on 5 out of 6 shooting. 6 of the 11 points here in the opening minutes of the third.
Watson did that on speed, and a nice return pass from Karl Malone.
Ewing. Oh, Malone over to block. Stockton tried to save it. He was out of bounds. Patrick Ewing felt that he was fouled.
Ewing going up for that shot. Malone seemed to hang there a little bit.
Back to the live action. Starks for 3 and the foul. Potential 4-point play for John Starks. Felton Spencer ended up outside, and he's called for the foul.
It is so rare to see a 4-point play in the NBA, but with this 22-foot three-point range, defenses have to pay attention to people like John Starks and put pressure on him, and he still overcame that intensity by making that shot.
4th foul committed by Spencer. Starks 6 of 9 from Three-point land. It is a 4-point play to bring the Knicks within 2. 8:45 to go, third quarter. John Starks has 23 points. Stockton backing Harper. 7 on the 24. Here's Benoit. Antoine Carr has replaced Felton Spencer. Anthony Mason. Mason gets it back. He got terrific position.
And a terrific return pass from Derek Harper, who saw how deep he was.
John Starks with that 4-point play, the 4th 4-point play of his NBA career. Ronnie Nunn with the 3-second call. So the ball goes back to the Knicks. The game is tied now at 61.
Pat Riley calling a play now for Patrick Ewing. Patrick being guarded again by Antoine Carr.
Starks, and he drew the foul. Karl Malone ran into John Starks. Again, the Jazz switching off on Starks, and a big man commits the foul. For Malone, his 3rd.
Well, the team went with the flow of what was presented, and in this case, it was John Starks again. And John's terrific outside shooting has put such pressure on the Jazz that they're treating his long-range shots like foul shot distances.
Well, John, back to your theory. You questioned Charles Smith, who has such a nice outside touch, as does John Starks, and he comes up short in the uncontested shot at the free throw line. And again, 3 shots for Starks because he was fouled on a 3-point attempt.
That is the first time we have seen that in a regular season. A new NBA rule this year.
John Starks hits 1 of 3 at the line. He's 6 for 9 from downtown. His career high in 3-pointers, good play by Hopper, is 8. He did it against the Chicago Bulls in the 91-92 season. And 8 3-point field goals is a Knicks team record. Starks with 6 3-pointers. Stockton checking the 24 and then fires. He's been off. John Stockton 1 of 5 from the field. Mason was challenged to shoot by Malone. And Mason called for the offensive foul.
Well, he certainly made Karl Malone back up so much that he drove Malone to the floor. Mason with this spinning move caught Malone, sent him back. It looked like Malone must have been off balance a bit.
The Knicks by 1, 62-61. Stockton able to shed his man and hit the reverse to give the Jazz a 1-point lead.
Derek Harper very unhappy with himself. Stockton can get physical, and he moved Harper behind him.
Ewing now played by Carr. Harper, yes, put on the line. That's a 2-point shot, and the Knicks lead by 1 point.
Terrific look by Ewing.
8 points for Derek Harper. Stockton was looking for someone to come off the pick at the left baseline. Antoine Carr playing catch off glass, and it counts.
That's one of those that shouldn't happen, but you got to give credit to Carr for his work ethic on that play. He took a terrible shot, but he pursued the miss.
You Utah 65 and the Knicks 64. Antoine Carr now operating at center, 6'9", with Felton Spencer picking up his fourth. Here's Starks. That time the three-point shot too deep. Mason tried to save it, stepped out. And a timeout called by the Knicks with 5:46 to go, third quarter.
This holiday season, while you're shopping, we'll be dropping a ton of money in the Discover Card Big Payback. Now, every time you use your card, you're automatically entered in our holiday sweepstakes. The more you shop, the more chances you have to win. Weekly bonus prizes of $50,000 or land the ultimate $1 million grand prize. Please to Discover. The card with the big payback.
Announcing the Dodge Intrepid Equipment Sale, where you can choose the extras to help you enjoy the view, cruise along, feel secure, put your foot down, and still flex your muscles. Throw in a discount from package value, and for only $199 a month, you can lease this remarkable car during the Dodge Intrepid Equipment Sale.
Knicks down by 1 here with 5:40 left in the third quarter. They're beginning to rush their shots a little bit. John Starks in particular, after the great success of the first half, continues to fire the long ones.
Shot clock at 3. Stockton forcing. And a break. No, 24-second violation. Knocked out of bounds by Ewing, but time run out. And so the Knicks get it back.
Very important for the Knicks to balance their inside and their outside game. It's important for John Starks also to make some good decisions passing that basketball.
Now some crisp passing on this sequence, and the end result, Patrick Ewing from the baseline.
I don't think Patrick was happy prior to the last timeout with John firing the long one. Patrick was in pretty good position to get that ball. Perhaps they talked about it during the timeout.
The Knicks by 1. Stockton hit from behind by Harper.
First of all, number 11, Derek Harper is third.
Hugh Evans anticipating the response from Derek Harper. Reacted as if you got to be kidding that you're going to argue that when you hit the guy in the head.
Marv, during the NBA broadcast meetings which precede the season, the guest speaker the last 2 years has been Hubie Brown. Certainly one of the best at explaining the game. And he made a very interesting point, a basic point. The big men have to be happy. And they're happy if they get the ball. If they get the ball on a regular basis, they'll rebound for you. And he was pointing out how with the three-point shot coming in closer, there might be an overreaction by guards to taking too many three-point shots, and in which case the big men aren't going to do the rebounding for you. And that's something that's a point that really works with the Knicks. They've got to remember who their main man is. They certainly stated verbally from time to time that Ewing is the man, but they've got to keep believing that and acting it out on the court. And it's important for John Starks, the Knicks' best long-range shooter, to balance his three-point shooting with passing that ball also inside, as he just did to Ewing with good results.
Ewing with only 8 shots to this point. He's at the line, fouled by Antoine Carr. Patrick Ewing, 4 out of 5 from the free throw line. He has 12 points. The Knicks recapture the lead, 68-67. 4.5 remaining. Third quarter. Marv Albert with John Andres from the Delta Center, Salt Lake City, Utah. And the foul against the Jazz. Offensive foul on Bond, who's trying to set a pick. We have not received word on whether Jamie Watson will be able to return. Mason lost it, and it will be Utah ball. Jamie Watson suffering a bruised hip when he went down earlier this third quarter, and it remains to be seen whether he will be able to get back. don't think too many people thought they'd be concerned about whether Jamie Watson would return to this game, but he's played well in his first NBA start for the injured Jeff Hornacek. Malone on the follow. Utah 69, the Knicks 68. And a pushing foul against the Jazz. It's on Bond, his third. The Knicks will go to the line. The Jazz over the limit. Anthony Mason will shoot a pair.
Anthony Mason, 1+ the penalty for 2.
Mason 3 of 4 from the field. He has 6 points.
Anthony Mason made an interesting point after the disappointing performance the other night in San Antonio, talking about rushing the shots. Mason's comment was, just because the shot is there doesn't mean you have to take it. He's pretty disciplined in his shooting. He tends to look for people before he takes the shot. In 16 minutes of the first half tonight, he only took 3 shots while making 2.
The Knicks 70 and the Jazz 69. Oakley jumping out on a switch and then able to track his man down. Back guarding Carr. Here's Malone.
Play here all the time doesn't mean you make those shots. Malone didn't have a look at the basket. He had his head down and rushed it.
Ewing. Good move, though, by Ewing, who feels he can get away with that strong drop step maneuver on Carr. Loose ball foul against the Jazz. On Benoit. So David Benoit called for his first, and with the Jazz over the limit, the Knicks go back to the line.
Malone is unhappy he didn't get the call as he drove that ball to the hoop. Patrick Ewing at the other end of the court with the sneaker off, getting himself together. It's a rare sight. Patrick, you got to double net those shoes, right? There was such a melee almost, a big man going on under the basket. It was pretty rough, so he might have gotten that kicked off.
The Knicks 71, the Jazz 69. He's doing a double, John.
I don't know. I think it's a single. No. I will say this.
A clear-cut double now. You missed the first loop.
We have a disagreement going on. Those are pretty sneakers, though, I must say.
Knicks lead 72-69 with 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Oakley breaking it up. 10 on the shot clock. First, a timeout called by the Knicks.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Gibson, Fisher, and
Introducing the JVC Easy One, the first point-and-shoot camcorder. It's so easy, you'll fall in love.
The industry leader in name brand power tools, nationally recognized for excellence in sales, service, and satisfaction. The most knowledgeable salespeople in the industry, serving Long Island for over 20 years. The only tool stores that specialize in repairs and service. On-site delivery. Dynamite Tools, Selden Plaza, Selden, Smithtown Avenue, Bohemia, and now on Hempstead Turnpike, Farmingdale. Call 800-640-TOOL.
Fuel cards. Join the Fuel Consumers Group today and save.
Fuel Consumers Group saved my parents, my 3 sisters money, so I figured it made sense to join.
In the dead of winter at 6 o'clock in the morning, I need service. In an hour and a half, they're there.
We have savings of hundreds of dollars a year. It's worry-free.
The service is excellent. Fuel Consumers Group. For more information, call 798-WARM.
our Delta Airlines upcoming schedule. The Knicks will be at Los Angeles. Knicks game night on Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. Then Thursday, Golden State, same time for Knicks game night. And then Saturday, the Knicks return home to the Atlanta Hawks with Knicks game night at 8 p.m.
Off the lineup, the foul on Stockton, a holding foul. I'll check that on Hopper, a holding foul. And since the ball was not thrown in bounds, 2 shots awarded John Stockton. Stockton is 4 out of 6.
You know, Marv, excuse me, Marv, some people are talking about, in kidding, but there's something to it that Golden State is maybe the best team right now in the West. They're 5-0 right now. The Knicks will play them, as we mentioned, on Thursday night. But they're off to a great start despite their injury problems in the absence of Chris Webber and Chris Mullen.
You know, Don Nelson, who did a tremendous job last year patching with all the injuries, loves to play for those mismatches, and done a terrific job when you consider all the problems and all the controversy off the Billy Owens deal and Chris Webber unhappy. Starks hits another 3. That is his 7th. He's 1 away from equaling a career high and equaling a Knicks team record. The Knicks lead by 5. It's their biggest lead of the night. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the 3rd. Benoit lost it. Mason for Starks. John Starks all the way. He has 29 points, and the Knicks lead by 7.
That's the kind of pace that Pat Riley loves to see with his team.
Malone. Ewing was trying to draw the charging foul.
It's amazing there was no whistle either way. There was contact with Malone hitting Ewing.
The Knicks lead 77-72. Now Bond guarding Starks. Ewing played by Carr. Gets the double team. Shot clock at 5. Ewing. And a pushing foul called on Carr. So the Knicks have been spending much time at the line in this 3rd quarter. How about John Starks, 7 of 11. The rest of the Knicks 0 for 9 from 3-point range. Patrick Ewing 5 of 6 at the free throw line.
It appears when Ewing is on the same side of the court with Starks, when John has the ball, he is looking to Patrick more than ever here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, the Knicks are 10 of 12 at the foul line in the 3rd. So they have turned it in every area and lead 79-72 with 1.5 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. Foul on Greg Anthony.
Greg Anthony is 3rd.
Both teams over the limit. That's number 3 on Greg. And John Stockton just not doing it at the foul line. He's 5 for 8 at the line. For the season, he's 65%. And this is a guy who, over his career, 82% free throw shooter.
Marv, one of the areas the Knicks have corrected big time, which has helped them tremendously. They had 10 turnovers with 7 minutes to go in the first half. And they have a total of 13 now. They have calmed down and really protected that basketball since those moments.
And a foul on Malone. So one of the touch fouls called on Karl Malone. That's 3 on Malone. Anthony Mason to the line.
Jerry Sloan was telling us before the game one of the problems that John Stockton has had is that he has been a victim of this new no hand checking rule greatly, because John's been in foul trouble a lot early this season, and it's difficult for him to adjust. Mason is back from the foul line further than usual, as you can see, when he takes those foul shots.
The Knicks 80 and the Jazz 74. Benoit to bring the Jazz within 4. Starks trying to lose Bonders all over him. Anthony, yes. And the Knicks now lead 82-76.
Rare shot for Greg Anthony, a jump shot off the dribble.
Anthony has 5 points. High man John Starks with 29. Karl Malone has 21. Half-minute to go in the third quarter, and the foul is called. It's on Oakley. That is his 4th. Monty Williams checking back in. So Monty getting some playing time tonight. The rookie from Notre Dame, 7 minutes in the first half. Come on for Charles Oakley. Monty had his first NBA field goal. Turned out to be a 3-point play.
This is, excuse me, Marv, this is not a particularly huge front line of Utah. That's why we're not seeing a lot of Charles Smith tonight. And Pat Riley has no trouble going with Anthony Mason and Monty Williams together as Knicks forwards.
Taken by the Knicks.
Timeout taken. Knicks by 6.
It's coming to you.
Familiar as blue jeans, Hollywood chasing. I'm blue eyes. It's always been true.
Just for you, a taste you'll find in no other beer at any price. Beechwood aged Budweiser.
It's always
From the city by the bay to the city of light. Every day we connect over 200 places with over 5,000 flights. And we grow with new aircraft and new destinations. Though we fly over 160,000 people a day, we remain committed to serving each and every person one at a time.
The Knicks with the 82-76 lead on the Utah Jazz with 30 and 7/10 seconds to go. Third quarter. You look back to the short history of this building, the Delta Center, one of the prouder moments for this franchise, the 92-93 NBA All-Star game that was played here and led by the combination of John Stockton and Karl Malone. The West defeated the East. Stockton and Malone were co-most valuable players. Karl Malone tonight 8 of 15 for 21 points. John Stockton has not shot well 2 out of 7 from the field, 11 points and 10 assists. We mentioned earlier talking about the so-called John Stockton Karl Malone era, and John Stockton was asked about that and said, I didn't know we had an era. You can't end something, in reference to the fact that this club might be split up. Can't end something that you never know you had. In effect, they haven't won a thing yet. They have had much success, but they have fallen short each season.
They have been, however, the Utah Jazz franchise. Those two guys are really part of an era. There's no question about that. Stockton's very humble.
Starks, that's a 2-pointer to give the Knicks an 84-76 lead. John Starks has 31 points. We wind down in the third quarter. Here's Benoit for 3. David Benoit converts a 3-pointer. Anthony, get it off in time. Apparently he did. The Knicks 84 and the Utah Jazz 79 after 3 quarters. We'll be back in Utah in a moment.
Announcing the Dodge Intrepid Equipment Sale, where you can choose the extras to help you enjoy the view, cruise along, feel secure, put your foot down, and still flex your muscles. Throw in a discount from package value, and for only $199 a month, you can lease this remarkable car. During the Dodge Intrepid Equipment Sale.
That are great looking at
So, Barb, what kind of car are you driving now?
I just leased an extra legend.
Ouch. You don't want to try the position then.
Why not? Come on.
No.
Come on, just on,
Okay. Don't say I didn't warn you now.
I'll be back.
Barbara's back in the Eagle position. How was it? We guess she paid more.
Lease Vision for $239 a month at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
All right, quick stop.
How can we help you?
Now on video, MSG Network presents Oh Baby, the Stanley Cup season of the 1993-94 New York Rangers, brought to you by Modell's Sporting Goods. Get your copy of the only complete video review of the Rangers Stanley Cup season. To order, call 1-800-910-TEAM.
The Knicks 84 and the Utah Jazz 79 as this fourth quarter gets underway. Greg Anthony and John Starks in the backcourt. Patrick Ewing up front with Anthony Mason and Monty Williams. And a foul is called on Brian Russell, who just checked back in.
Russell wasn't subtle enough with his defensive gesture. He waved his arm and got caught.
And Jamie Watson, who went down earlier this third quarter after getting off to that good start, suffered a bruised hip, but apparently all right. He is back on the floor. Ewing off the double team. Rebound Williams, and he's fouled by Malone. Monty Williams landing on his elbow.
Ewing with the soft shot. Monty Williams right there in great position. This guy has a nose for the basketball, and that is a particular skill. That's something you do not learn. He just has a way to find that ball, and at 6'8", he's impressive.
And foul number 4 on Karl Malone. Herb Williams checking in, replacing Patrick Ewing. Monty Williams missing on both free throws. Monty was a 74% foul shooter at Notre Dame. 5-point lead for the Knicks.
Monty didn't take enough time on those foul shots.
Nice dish from Malone, setting up Stockton. And the Knicks lead is now 3. Knicks have led by as many as 8 after trailing by 12. Monty Williams working his way inside.
I think it's great how Starks went right to Monty, who had the good position, and what a sweet move he executed.
And Monty Williams getting the playing time here. Important moments. Early portion of the fourth quarter. Russell had to throw it back. Here's Malone. Kicked out. Last touch by Starks.
It's interesting how this man is going with the rookie, Monty Williams, with Charles Smith on the bench.
Well, Monty has earned the time. Played well in his brief stint.
Shows you, too, how Pat wants to get a look at him. The matchup is such, again, that Monty is not going to be overwhelmed by his opponent on the court right now. That's Byron Russell, who is 6'7".
Anthony called for the foul. Now Karl Malone will get a rest. Tom Chambers is back. Malone has 4 fouls.
I would think this will be a brief rest for Karl Malone. They're not going to win this game if he's on the bench much.
John, you look at the unit on the floor. It has for Utah. Russell is able to hit. And the Knicks by 3. You look at this group. Looks like an expansion club with John Stockton.
They opened that middle up, and he took Herb Williams on a mismatch with his speed.
Herb Williams with a nice backdoor lead for John Starks, who was pushed. Foul on Chambers.
Marv, it has been a long time since I have seen so much give-and-go basketball. This is what we're seeing tonight. Big men delivering the ball to cutters, forwards delivering the ball to cutters. It's fun to watch, and it's basic basketball, and it really is an exploitation of the defense, who is being caught watching, not paying close enough attention to their man who's doing the cutting. They're watching the ball.
Well, you know, this is what Pat Riley went over in his practice drills yesterday after the performance in San Antonio on Saturday, where it was jump shot heaven with the Knicks not hitting the outside shot. Although here in the first half, they certainly took more than a share, but they were hitting their shots. A good shooting half. Antoine Carr gets the roll. And the Knicks now lead 88-85. 9 points for Carr. And this crowd is now alive. Anthony with the step, then Stockton recovered and knocked it out of bounds. Williams will inbound. Knicks have 12 on the shot clock. Herb Williams. Stockton setting it up.
Knicks transition defense has improved tonight.
Mason poked it. Shot clock at 5. Stockton for 3. John Stockton ties the game at 88.
Stockton's been playing angry tonight. He hasn't been happy with his performances of late.
Starks for 3. Knicks and the Jazz, 88 apiece. 8:40 remaining in the fourth. And a foul charged to Monty Williams. Substitutions for the Knicks: Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and Derek Harper returns.
Where's the mailman? He better be back soon.
Malone with 4 fouls, but sitting it out, getting a rest. Stockton now played by Harper. Here's Carr. Antoine Carr, 6 of 10, 13 points, and the Jazz by 2, leading to the Knicks calling for time.
Today's term is give and go. Now this is a give and go. This is a gift. Different thing.
Giving a gift? How about a Fuji DL550 Zoom or a Fuji Discovery 90? And nothing's more colorful than prints made with Fuji film.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
With hometowns and everyone's class clown. It's always been true. This bus for you. Just for you.
So, Barb, what kind of car are you driving now?
I just leased an Acura Legend.
Ouch. You don't want to test drive the Eagle Vision, then.
Why not? Come on.
No.
Come on, just want to test drive. Yeah, give it a go.
Okay. Don't say I didn't warn you now.
Okay, we'll be back.
Barbara's back in the Eagle Vision. How was it?
Oh, it reminds me of my Acura. It's great. Why don't you want me to test drive it?
Probably the least price. I would guess she paid more.
Lease Vision for $239 a month at your Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Jerry Sloan has had some bad luck with injuries, but he just got good luck with the mailman, Karl Malone, on the bench. The Jazz have just completed a 7-0 run. They're up by 2 with 8:25 left. John Stockton with the long three-point shot moments ago. Antoine Carr wide open. 6th field goal for him. This is his 2nd big game since he's been a member of the Utah Jazz. This is their 7th game of the season. 2 games ago, he had a 17-point game in a loss against Golden State, but he's certainly come in handy tonight.
The Jazz 5 of 6 from the field to start off this 4th quarter. 8:25 remaining in this 4th quarter as ball boys take care of a wet spot. Hubert Davis has come on for John Starks. Starks the high man with 31. Here's Derek Hoffer. Goes to the left hand. Rebound ripped by Watson. So Watson and Stockton in the backcourt. Carr with Chambers and Russell up front. An injury hit Utah Jazz ball club. Hoffer picks up the foul. That is his 5th. 13th foul committed by the Knicks. Utah with 3 straight losses. They come in at 2-4. Bad loss in Denver on Saturday night. Caught of the fadeaway. And it's kept alive by Russell.
As an example of not putting your body, Mason didn't put his body on Russell, even though he had the inside position, and Russell had jumping room.
Utah Jazz very aware of the bad play in the 4th quarter. Carr able to keep it alive. Shot clock down to 4. Here's Russell on a crossover to set it up. Ryan Russell, second-year man from Long Beach State, extends to a 4-point Jazz lead. The Knicks have gone better than 4 minutes without a field goal. Nice pass from Ewing. Oakley missed the tip.
Marv, as we mentioned at the outset of this game, the Jazz are trying to overcome their 4th quarter blues. That's where they have been dying in the last 3 games, which, as you mentioned, have been losses.
And here's Karl Malone checking back in. Non-shooting foul, and Mason will throw in. Mason, Ewing, Oakley up front, Davis and Hoffer at the guards. Ewing had the dribble knocked away.
It was Stockton.
Hoffer playing with the 5 fouls, guarding Stockton. Pretty pass to Watson. Utah by 6, and the Knicks call for time.
On the next Page 1, Bob Page takes a look at the state of the NBA with Dave Checketts, Marv Albert, and Pete Bessie. Wednesday on MSG.
Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Rolls-Royce, all found at Raleigh Motors on Northern Boulevard in Roslyn. From the moment you enter Raleigh, you'll know we're different. From our magnificent showroom to our state-of-the-art service facility, Raleigh Motors, the metropolitan area's premier luxury car dealership, where it costs no more to go first class. Raleigh Motors, authorized Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Rolls-Royce dealer.
Sports fans, during this summer's baseball strike, Cablevision refunded more than $1 million to MSG and Sports Channel customers, and if a hockey strike results in rebates, we'll pass those savings along too. If you signed up for MSG or Sports Channel on or after March 15th and you cancel your service, you may get your installation fee back. Or drop MSG and Sports Channel and add them back before the end of the year at no charge. Or check out what else is on Sports Channel and MSG.
So with new hope and new coach, nobody does it like MSG and the Nobody Beats the Whiz Jets Journal. Boomers back strong, along with Johnny Johnson, Jeff Lagerman, and rookie sensation Aaron Bland. Get a full half hour of interviews, features, and each week's action highlights. Nobody Beats the Whiz Jets Journal, right here on MSG.
11-0 run by the Utah Jazz. The Knicks have gone 3.5 minutes without scoring. They've gone 5 minutes without a field goal. John Starks back on the floor. He had the hot hand most of the way. Again, Ewing lost it. The Jazz with a 15-4 advantage in the fourth quarter.
When Patrick puts the ball on the floor, it has become a problem.
Well, the previous time down court, illegal defense called against the Knicks. That's the 5th time they've been called. Another technical foul. Previous time down court, Stockton got a piece of it. But Ewing lost it just a moment ago by mishandling the dribble. Tom Chambers to the line where he is 1 of 2. He'll shoot the technical. And Utah leads by 7.
Patrick has 5 of the Knicks' 15 turnovers in the game.
6 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter. Malone over Oakley. And handled by Starks, able to protect the ball. Try to lead Oakley. Watson with a terrific play. Malone for Stockton. And the foul on Starks. That is his 3rd foul.
Watson, 6'7", way up in the air to get that ball. And Karl Malone and John Stockton work it out. This time Malone delivering the pass. Jamie Watson, you know, Marv, no matter what happens in this game for the Utah Jazz, Jerry Sloan is going to talk about Watson more than anybody. This guy was the 46th pick, 2nd-round pick of last summer's draft.
It has been a storybook night for Jamie Watson out of South Carolina, 2nd-round draft pick. Averaged 18 points a game as a senior at South Carolina. Starks, that was a 3-point attempt. He's hit 7 tonight. Mason with a good play. Malone rips it right back.
Talk about a determined pursuit of the basketball. That was Malone claiming that ball for his own.
Shot clock at 3. It's down to 1. Oh, look out. Both Oakley and Malone go flying.
How about the youngster under Malone?
24-second violation. Booker. Yes, for a couple of youngsters, that's a bit too close to the action.
Fortunately, they are smiling now as Malone did it the best he could.
Ewing. Malone on the drive. And he'll go to the line. Foul committed by Patrick Ewing. The Knicks have not scored the last 5 minutes. They have gone 6 minutes and 45 seconds without a field goal. And this after the excellent 3rd quarter.
Well, when things go bad for a team like they have lately for the Utah Jazz, their problem, as we look at a pensive Pat Riley, has been the 4th quarter where they have shrunk lately. Not tonight.
Utah 99 and the Knicks 88. The Jazz outscoring the Knicks 20-4 in this 4th quarter. And they have been very aggressive. Foul call on Malone. That's his 5th. We discussed earlier the fact that Karl Malone, among several members of the Utah Jazz, feeling that the club has just not played aggressive enough, but that's not the case here tonight.
Marv, as you look at the game right now, and of course you always sense when you're at a home team's locale the difference in the emotional level. But the Jazz have played this game, particularly in the 4th quarter, with fire. The Knicks are not playing with fire.
Utah had allowed 33.5 points per fourth quarter in their 4 losses this season. They gave up 41 points to Denver Saturday night in the fourth quarter. A little bit different tonight. The Jazz with a 20-6 advantage here in the fourth. Starks called for the foul. That's his 4th, and the Knicks are over the limit.
You know, the talent level, Marv, in this league is so great, and on certain evenings, the fire of one team can overcome the other team. Even though the Knicks are playing very hard, Starks has had a spectacular shooting night, but there is some fire missing by the Knicks tonight throughout this game. They are not maximizing their big man, who should have had a dominant position here on the court. Ewing right now in the game, 4 for 11 from the field, 15 points, 6 rebounds, and Oakley 6 points, 4 rebounds for Charles. This is not the Knick performance that has been expected by Pat Riley.
Particularly going up against Felton Spencer, coming off matchups with the likes of David Robinson and Shaquille O'Neal. 10-point lead for Utah. Starks try to force it. So Utah gets it back. We come up on 4 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. In the early going of the first half, the Jazz led by as many as 12. The Knicks able to come back. Knicks led by 8. But Utah turning it in this fourth quarter. Shot clock at 3. Chambers from Stockton. And a foul call. It's on Oakley. That is his 5th.
Another of the many give-and-go plays, moves to the basket and return passes successfully executed. The defenders on the Knicks are unable to deal with these plays tonight. There have been more, I think, in this game than I've ever seen. More exchanges between a guard and a forward, or a guard and a big man, with the recipient big man getting something out of the play.
Chambers 3 of 4 at the line. Utah 102 and the Knicks 90. Davis trying to set up Ewing. Shot clock at 6. Loose ball foul is called on Oakley. So he is fouled out. The Knicks have gone 7 minutes and 57 seconds without a field goal. Charles Oakley, only 2 of 6 from the field, did not have one of his stronger performances, as he is fouled out. The Knicks shooting only 1 of 10 from the field in this fourth quarter. And here is Karl Malone.
This has been quite a response for an injury-riddled backcourt team. No Jeff Hornacek tonight. John Crotty, a backup guard, out. And their coach, Jerry Sloan, was hoping that his team could hang with the Knicks despite the absence of one-time All-Star Jeff Hornacek.
John, Utah's last 9 points have come at the free throw line. There's Hornacek with Crotty to our right. Humphreys to our left. Jay Humphreys also out. Trying to make it back from the knee surgery off season. Well, this is now shaping up for the Knicks as a very long road trip. The Lakers Wednesday in Los Angeles. Golden State on Thursday in Oakland. Chambers called for the foul. The Knicks have now gone over 8 minutes of this fourth quarter without a field goal.
One of the difficult defensive problems for Utah in the last couple of games has been guarding backcourt players, Marv. Against Denver, Robert Pack, Abdul Rauf, Dale Ellis, 61 points between them. Prior game against Golden State, Hardaway 30, Sprewell 30. I mean, they've been having great difficulty with backcourts. And we mentioned Golden State at 5-0 right now. They loom as a real difficult opponent for the Knicks Thursday after the Knicks play in Los Angeles Wednesday.
Ewing 7 of 9 at the line. Jazz leading 104-91. You see the disparity in shooting. One field goal for the Knicks in this fourth quarter. 1 out of 10. Crowd wanted a foul on Ewing. The Knicks trailing by 13 points. It's the biggest lead of the game for Utah. We're just under 3 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Hoffer for 3. Ewing, yes. So finally, the Knicks able to hit. We are computing how long they went without a basket. Jazz now by 11. Malone gets inside and felt the contact. Foul on Ewing.
Once again, Malone with the good position. Knicks like to front the big man on the defensive end of the court. The Knicks get help, but it's hard not to foul this guy once he gets his hand on the ball around the hoop.
Well, the Knicks went 8 minutes and 50 seconds without a field goal before that shot a moment ago by Ewing. 8 minutes and 50 seconds. 26 points for Karl Malone. John Stockton, 18 points and 13 assists. John Starks leading the Knicks with 33 points. 7 from downtown. That's one shy of a career high. The Jazz leading 106-93. The Knicks enter this fourth quarter with a 5-point lead. Starks for 3. And Malone with the good box out. Karl Malone, 12 rebounds. The Jazz doing it at the foul line here in the fourth quarter. Their last 12 points have come from the free throw stripe. Just under 2 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Pretty pass. Malone for Stockton. What a beautiful one bounce pass delivered by Karl Malone. And the Knicks take a timeout.
This holiday season, while you're shopping, we'll be dropping a ton of money in the Discover Card Big Payback. Now, every time you use your card, you're automatically entered in our holiday sweepstakes. The more you shop, the more chances you have to win. Weekly bonus prizes of $50,000 or land the ultimate $1 million grand prize. It pays to discover. The card with the big payback.
Person needs to send resume to New York. Wants to make a big impression. Goes to post office. Finds out priority mail is a smart solution. Resume gets noticed. Person gets job. Now, if you can only get a can. Team needs new jerseys. Person has to deliver them overnight. Goes to post office. Finds express mail is a smart solution. Guarantees delivery. Jerseys arrive on time. Person avoids getting sacked.
Well, Well, this represents the biggest lead of the night for the Utah Jazz, who have just taken the play away from the Knicks in the fourth quarter. And the Knicks now look to Los Angeles. It will not be a delightful charter flight from Salt Lake City to L.A. They'll take on the Los Angeles Lakers Wednesday night at the Forum. Knicks game night at 10 and game time at 10:30 for game 3 of this 4-game Western swing that has turned ugly.
One of the many give-and-go plays to the cutter. As I mentioned earlier, Marv, I don't know when I've seen so many against the Knicks ever before.
And that was the 5th assist for Malone. Jazz with a 29-9 advantage in the fourth quarter. John Starks accounting for only the 3rd Knick field goal of this fourth quarter. Starks is 35, his career high 39, which he has scored on a couple of occasions. The ball back to the Knicks with 1:19 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Stockton with 13 assists in this game.
Ewing from way out. Well, this is a fourth quarter that will be remembered for the Knicks going 8 minutes and 50 seconds without converting a field goal. They died in the fourth after the good shooting through 3 quarters. And an underman injury hit Utah Jazz club came up very tough down the stretch. We're down to 40 seconds remaining. Ewing might have taken a step or 2 on that move. And the crowd celebrating the Utah victory with 20 seconds remaining. Here's Malone. 29 for Karl Malone. Utah leads 110-95. 10 seconds to go. The foul on Russell.
One of the things that Jerry Sloan is going to be very happy about, only one of his opponents has been held under 100 this year. His opponents have been scoring a lot of points. The Knicks right now will finish this game with under 100 points for the second time. Only the second time the Jazz have held an opponent under triple figures.
And Utah outscoring the Knicks here in the fourth quarter with that free throw by Hoffer, 31-12. 8 seconds remaining. So this is a New York Knicks team that opened the season up-tempo, 3 straight wins over the Celtics, the Lakers, and the Magic. It has gone the other way on this road.